Hello boys and girls, how are you? Hey, this may seem familiar because once again we have another titanium TiSS from Anglam. Not from Anglam, from something. This is the Anglam TiSS TiSS. So you can see this as like in episode 2 to the previous one because a lot of the comments are the same. Yeah, like look at the shape. Actually, the shape is a little bit different. You can see this does not have the two-step profile like the again, I'll use the other one because it's more clear here. So you can see there's kind of a mini hourglass shape here. Also with the Anglam 0, the CC. But with the TiSS, it's just a straight profile, which I believe, again, I made a mistake in the last episode. I believe this is the original Anglam shape. They made minor tweaks with the apogee. Once again, this minor tweaks with the apogee. But yeah, again, it's mostly the same, right? You see the cup, very similar. You see, yeah, again, it's similar enough that I'm not gonna talk about the shape too much again. And you see the design, it's clean, beautiful titanium, and the steel ring is super subtle. You can see that there's a little bit of a, yeah, you can see the ring here, and it goes to here, right? These are tiny steel rings. It makes me wonder how much do these rings affect play, right? If you compare that again to the other TiSS, to the apogee, right? You see these are much more noticeable, right? But surprisingly, the TiSS is actually so powerful, so much more powerful for some reason. I feel this is much more powerful than the Anglam 0. You can notice, you can feel it when you return like when you throw the yo-yo out without doing tricks and you bind it, you can feel this hit back super hard. Meanwhile, the Anglam apogee is a bit more powerful, but not by a lot compared to the 0. And then the TiSS is, once again, you can feel the power. Now again, power doesn't exactly translate into longevity. That's something I've learned. Sure, it's more powerful at first. So in the beginning, you can be more abusive towards the yo-yo, but eventually it dies down just the same as other yo-yos. But it's definitely a very interesting feature. Like, how do you get this much power with such a tiny stainless steel ring? All right, in terms of play, I think it's fairly similar. Again, aside from the power, it's fairly similar to the other two. But one thing I do notice with this series is that they are, I'm not sure if it's because of the gap, but I feel like the gap is a little bit narrow, just a little bit narrow for what we want to do today. But again, if you look at Hiroyuki Suzuki, look at their performance, they don't really layer strings that much, so it's fine for them. But what if I want to do some tech? What if I want to do fancier, fancier kind of tricks, fancier string formations, right? These, you kind of feel the limit. Okay, so I need to make sure I keep the right one under the camera. Yeah, and another thing I notice with this series is that they're surprisingly average at horizontal. Again, I am no expert at horizontal, but I've played with yo-yos that are super forgiving, and I can continue to do a trick even if I fail over and over. The yo-yo will keep spinning. But the Anglam TiSS, along with the other Thai Anglams, they have a similar thing, which is they don't last that long while in horizontal. Even with Mickey's signature, the twirly trick. Yeah, I'll show that again. But that trick, even with that, the yo-yo does not last that long, which is interesting. I mean, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I feel like it might have to do with the wall here. Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure. I feel like, Mickey is kind of, Hiroyuki Suzuki is kind of the most iconic person, one of the most iconic people in terms of horizontal. So his yo-yo should be good at that. So maybe don't take my opinion with a grain of salt. But yeah, I do feel there are some limitations with this yo-yo. But otherwise, the handling is brilliant. This feels lighter, even though it's more power, but it feels lighter, it feels faster than the apogee. The apogee feels a bit more stable. Right, but this one is just fast, light, and yeah, it feels really good to do speedier tricks with it. But once again, the stability is kind of a small issue, but this is suited for a certain style of play, for Hiroyuki Suzuki's style. He designed a yo-yo that's perfect for him, basically. And yeah, that's the TiSS. $800 once again. Honestly, maybe if you have that much money, just get the Apogee. Maybe. Honestly, I'm not sure. Like, who would buy this yo-yo for 800? Are you collecting all the yo-yo addict stuff? Are you trying to be famous on YouTube like me? Maybe. But yeah, it's a cool yo-yo to have. That's all. Thank you.